Oh, hello there, Moonglow. Hi, Tickled Pink. Well, so what are we going to talk about today? Well, I know the first thing that we should talk about, you know, is were you worried about the new Euro oversight? Shit. I mean, were you worried about it at all? From what folks say, it was going to be like the worst thing that ever happened to the website? Or you weren't worried about it? Well, first off, I don't really think I had any say in it either way. To be worried about it, yeah, at the end of the day, I don't think being worried about it, which everyone had the freedom to be worried about it, but at the end of the day, I don't think it would have made a big unlikeness either way. Because at the end of the day, what was going to happen was going to happen. You know, And yeah, there was a lot of folks making films talking about it. But if they truly understood it or what they were talking about was true, well that was a whole other thing. I mean, yes, you would I mean, yes. I mean, you would hear you'd hear about folks, saying, "Oh, well, now you're going to have to log in with with your driver's deal or your step deal or your name sheet or whatever. You're going to have to put that long list of reckonings down in the back, or whatever." And that didn't seem to happen. Well, I mean, at the end of the day, Tickled Pink, at the end of the day, there wasn't really much anyone could do about it either way. If that's what you had to do to let the website know that you were old enough to be on a website, then that was what you were going to have to do. I mean, yes, a lot of folks were against that thing if that was what was going to happen. A lot of folks believed that the website didn't have a right to ask you for anything beyond what they were asking you. And even then, there were folks that felt they shouldn't be asking you for nothing, you know. And the only grounds to why I believe the oversight even became a thing was that, once again, folks were getting angry that, bearers and keepers and teachers and other folks were getting angry at the website for being so smooth for someone to lie about how old they were. Wanted to be on a website? Hey, you could then lie about being grown up when you were either a kid or a betweener. You could lie about getting past year gated films or live streams or shorts or podcasts or whatever. And a lot of folks thought that the website, and a lot of folks thought that YOUWAY should have make it harder for folks to get past all that shit. You know, believing that if a walker or a kid or a betweener was asked to truly show that they were grown up, that they might not go through all of it, or they might not have it. I mean, kids and betweeners, I guess they got name sheets, to be earnest with you. I don't know how old you have to be before you can get one of them, to be earnest with you. But as far as a driver's deal went, in some rights you had to be 8 between or older before you could even, learn how to drive, before you get your driver's deal. And as far as a stepping deal went, I guess you had to be at least 8 between older that to get that, as far as the gabber went. But anyway, at the end of the day, I guess that was what they had to do. It was either that or get law worked again for that. And we all know how the not for kids oversight became into being. You're right, Moonglow. About 5 years ago, if I'm right about it, I could be wrong. 5 years ago, a lot of folks thought that YOUWAY was putting showings on films they shouldn't have been showing. getting cookie news. They were learning. They were getting need from the cookies and stuff that they thought they shouldn't do. And it was really, it was the Gaver draft gathering that, ended up believing there was enough truth that was wrong. And then Google and YOUWAY had to come up with that new oversight. And everyone was freaking out about that one too, because they had a belief that the GSG or whatever was going to be was going to be watching every single fairway, and they were going to strike down on fairways that they thought were not following that law or whatever. God forbid that there already was followership oversight. Anyway, and that happened, and none of that happened. I mean, yes, the for kids or not for kids thing happened, but all the other things they said that were going to happen did not. Yeah, I think at the end of the day, folks tend to either downplay, overplay, or make make up shit to either make you more frightened of it than you are if you are frightened or worried over it. You're right about that. Yeah, you're right about that, Moonglow. I mean, at the end of the day, a tool that was going to read every fairway out there and then make a guess from what it learned, well, we would just say good luck with that one. Because there's so many fairways there. Some of them been around since 2005 YL. Some of them just opened up today. And it was going to be hard for a tool to say grown-up kid betweener, grown-up kid betweener, or whatever. So, no, I wasn't worried about it. What was going to be. I had really no run or lead over it.